Hello everyone, my name is Itamar Ben David. I'm a tour guide here in Jerusalem, Israel, and we will continue our journey using Google Earth, reading and studying the book of Genesis. So here we are. Last time around, we were talking about Isaac and his pretty simple life, I would say, in a very limited area in the southern part of Israel. So if you're not familiar with the map, here we are in the Middle East, and we're just hovering above Israel right now. And Isaac lived in a very limited area between Hebron and the land of Gra. You can see Beersheba as well. This is the western side of the Negev desert, and that's where he spent his whole life. So unlike Abraham, his father, that made a huge journey actually from Mesopotamia to the land of Canaan and then down to Egypt and back, okay, and later his son will do pretty much the same. That's the yellow line that you see over here. No, Isaac spent his entire life in these few tens of miles. Okay, so beside of one visit, a pretty traumatic visit, I would say, to Jerusalem, to Mount Moriah, where he was almost sacrificed by his father Abraham. Beside of that, he's spending his life in a very limited area. Also, Isaac, unlike his father Abraham and his son Jacob, he's only married to one woman. That's Rebecca. He has two sons. That's the twins, Esau and Jacob. And other than that, pretty simple life of a successful shepherd and even a farmer in the land of Israel, in the southern part of the land of Israel. That's it. Okay, so let's see what is the journey that Jacob does. So in the last chapter, we were talking about how Jacob has to flee from Beersheba. Here's the hill, the tell of Beersheba. That's how it looks like. I'm not suggesting that this is actually where they lived. Okay, this is from later. This is from the first millennia BC, and we're talking about the Hebrew families. They lived in the second millennia BC. So this is the terrain. This is the terrain of Beersheba, the area where they lived. You can see the desert. There's some neighborhood over there. And here's modern Beersheba in the distance. You can see that's how it looks like. Okay, so this is the terrain, and Jacob has to flee as his older twin Esau has the intention of killing him. Also, he was sent by his parents to get married to a nice Hebrew wife. Okay, Hebrew wife. And where are the rest of the Hebrews? There's one family here, and the other family is in Haran, which is in southeast Turkey, as we're going to see. Okay, so Jacob departs from Beersheba, and he will have a stop in Jerusalem. So this is a tricky part because the Bible says Bet El, and we know Bet El is a bit northern of Jerusalem. It's the camp of Abraham, one of the camps of Abraham, northern of Jerusalem, which is located over here approximately. So if we're talking about Bethel, could he be here? I would say that all interpreters and traditions, Jewish traditions, actually points out Mount Moriah, and hopefully I'll manage to convince you. If you're not, that's fine. So let's take a look. So here's the old city of Jerusalem, and we're going to land at the Temple Mount. The Temple Mount and the Dome of the Rock, that's the location of various traditions. Lastly, we were talking about the binding of Isaac. So this is where that happened, just over here. In the days of Jacob, he will have a stop in his journey at the location of the foundation stone. So here's the Dome of the Rock today. It's actually covering a rock. That's the foundation stone. And tradition says that this is where Jacob had his vision. So the vision of the ladder, that it's on the ground, but its head is up in the sky, and angels are coming back and forward, okay, from heaven to earth. And then Jacob wakes up and says the following: When Jacob awoke from his sleep, he thought, surely the Lord is in this place, and I was not aware of it. He was afraid and said, how awesome is this place! This is none other than the house of God, Bet El. This is the gate of heaven. Okay. Then Jacob made a vow, saying, if God will be with me and will watch over me on this journey I am taking, and will give me food to eat and clothes to wear, so that I return safely to my father's household. Then the Lord will be my God, and this stone that I have set up as a pillar will be God's house, right, the temple. And of all that you give me, all that God give me, I will give you a tenth. The place of the tithe. It's really resonate the story of Abram and Melchizedek, and how Abram already gave the tithe to the king Melchizedek. So here we go. So all of that to say that the place where Jacob had his vision or dream actually is Mount Moriah and not Bethel. Let's take a look at the journey that Abram goes through. I'll just say that I actually kept the same line that I used in previous videos, the line that shows, the yellow line that shows the journey of Abraham entering to the land of Canaan. So Abraham came from Haran down to the land of Canaan. Jacob is now departing and leaving it from the same way exactly, and he will be back on the same way later on. So you can see some places that we talked about, like Shechem, Nablus, okay, the valley of Tirzah, crossing the Jordan River just over here, then the river of Yabok or Jabbok, and from what now is Transjordan, he heads up north through Damascus, then on the Orontes River, through Homs and Hama and Halab, all these important cities in Syria. This is, approximately the journey that Jacob did. I was just following ancient roads and the important rivers of this area, the Fertile Crescent. So this is approximately his road all the way to Hebron. Notice that he was crossing 3 rivers or streams. Okay, not all of them are equally dramatic, let's say. The Jordan River, the Jabbok, and later the Euphrates River. So just in the back, in my background, you can see the not so mighty Jordan River. That's how it is today. Okay, so now our friend Jacob is in Haran. Okay, so let's take a look. It's an actual place in southeast Turkey. So I thought, why not? Let's take a look of how it looks like today. And what do we have over here? There's a heritage or cultural center over there. Haran itself is a very ancient Bronze Age city, but today it's a town. It's not a very big town, about 100,000 people. And in their cultural center, they also show the beehive houses. Okay, it's a set of these domes, and there are actual one space under all these domes. That's the way they did the roof. Okay, and it's an old or even ancient architecture. So this is how it looks like over there in Haran. If you go and visit, I've never been to, but hopefully one day. I found a photosphere, and again, thanks to Google Earth and all these content providers and photographers, we're able to see it. So this is how the dome looks like from inside, with some tools. Again, it's part of that cultural center, I guess. Yeah, so that's how it looks like. Who knows? Maybe Jacob stayed for more than 20 years in a place like that. Let's take a look of how it looks like today. We have some medieval walls just over here, and then you enter one of the main streets that are on the hill of Haran, the ancient hill of Haran. I actually found a pile of dung. Maybe this is used by the locals for their stoves, okay, some energy. And that's how the houses around looks like. Just take a quick look. Okay, I don't know if you like or not the neighborhood. That's how it looks like. That's how Haran looks like today. So you can imagine Laban and Jacob in one of those areas over here, one of those houses over here. Okay, cool. So Mr. Jacob is now in Haran. He falls in love with Rachel next to the well, and he asks Laban, his cousin, to get married to her. And Laban says, okay, no problem, just work for me for 7 years. And these years go by real quickly as he loves her so much. But on the wedding night, the bride was switched with her older sister, Leah. Jacob is upset, but he says, okay, I'll work another 7 years for my beloved Rachel. And again, the days go by real quickly, and now he has his 2 wives and their handmaids or concubines, and big family. Jacob starts a very big family. Okay, so that's again just the terrain of Haran, and let's take a look of the family of Jacob. So I hope you'll find that interesting. What I'm going to show you now is the tribes of Israel, okay, but I actually want to show you the territories of the tribes of Israel. So, of course, Israel and Jacob, that's the same person. We're going to learn about it in the next video, about the place where the name was changed from Jacob to Israel. And his sons, 11 were born in Haran. 1 was born in the land of Israel. That's Benjamin, the youngest one. And 1 daughter, Dinah. Okay, we'll see that on the next video. So Jacob gives birth to this huge family, and I want to show you something regarding the status of the different sons in the family. So the firstborn son is Reuben, okay, and because of something he will do in the next few chapters, he was banned and was located in Transjordan. So my point is that the status of the sons in the family, okay, you can learn about it from their proximity to Jerusalem. Okay, so if Reuben did something wrong and now he's in Transjordan, it means that he's the firstborn son, but he doesn't get, let's say, the blessing. Then we have Shimon, the second son of Jacob from Leah. Okay, him and Levi will slaughter the people of Nablus, the people of Shechem, and therefore they put in danger their father Jacob. So he also is not very happy with them. So it happened that Simon, okay, dwelled within Judah, kind of like was swallowed in the tribe of Judah, and the tribe of Levi doesn't even have a territory. Okay, that's Shimon over here. And where is the tribe of Levi? So the tribe of Levi is the tribe of the teachers of Israel and the priests, okay, family of Aaron, the brother of Moses, and they don't have their own land. They have few cities. We can learn about it in I think in the book of Exodus, if I remember correctly, but it's not mentioned in the book of Genesis. This is later. This comes later, and they will get cities, but they won't get their own land, their own territory. Okay, so Reuben, then Shimon, then Levi, none of them are very close to Jerusalem or have their own territory over here. Then we have Judah. Judah, the 4th son, is the favorite one. That's the tribe of the kings, Okay, so therefore he's very, very close to Jerusalem, but not quite yet. He doesn't have Jerusalem, doesn't possess Jerusalem itself. Then Leah stops giving birth for a while, and Rachel is very envious with her. She is barren, and she's giving her handmaid to Jacob. And this handmaid, her name is Bilhah, and she gives birth to 2 sons. One is Dan, and the other one is Naphtali. Okay, so Dan, the tribe of Dan, actually got his territory over here, according to the book of Joshua, not too far from Jerusalem. It's the area of Tel Aviv and Jaffa. But for all different reasons, he was pushed out of this area and was located in the northern part of Israel, in the hill of Dan, the Tel Dan, up north. Okay, so this is Dan. What happened to the other son of Bilhah, Naphtali, is also up north. Okay, so they are far away from Jerusalem. The sons of the handmaid Bilhah are far away. Leah sees the trick that Rachel did and said, okay, I also have a handmaid. I'll give it to Jacob, and Jacob will be happy with me. 2 sons are born to the other handmaid, Zilpah. One is Gad, which is in Transjordan, and the other one is Asher, which is in the north. Again, not very close to Jerusalem. Then finally, the beloved wife of Jacob, Rachel, gives birth to 2 sons. One in Haran, Joseph, and the other one in the land of Israel, as she died. She died during his birth, Benjamin. So let's start with Joseph. Joseph was so precious to Jacob that actually he has um, two sons that became tribes, Manasseh and Ephraim, and they are very close to Jerusalem, much closer than the others. And even the capital, the first capital of Israel, was in Shiloh. Just over here, you can read about it in the book of Joshua. Within the tribe of Joseph, there was the first capital. Okay. Then we have the last one, Benjamin. The city of Jerusalem is actually located within the territory of Benjamin. So now you can see that the status of the sons in the family has a lot to do with the geography of Israel. Okay, so the tribes are born, or at least 11 of them. Benjamin will be born later. And now that Joseph was born, the first son of Rachel, Jacob understands that he has to leave. He has to leave Haran. He has to leave Haran, but in order to leave Haran, he has to ask for permission from his cousin, his father-in-law. He has to ask for permission. So let's take a look at what was going on, okay? Jacob is asking for permission, and modern rabbis, and this is also an interesting pattern, modern rabbis noticed something interesting. I'm talking about rabbis of the 20th century. They noticed a certain pattern, okay? That every time that Jacob comes out of exile, okay, now he's in exile, he's not in the land of the Hebrews or the land of Israel, okay, he's far away, he's in Haran. Every time Jacob wants to go back to the land of Israel, he has to ask for permission. So Jacob is asking the permission of his father-in-law, Lavan, to leave Haran, and he gets that permission. Then this pattern will return again in the days of Moses. Moses wants to take the children of Israel out of Egypt. He has to ask the permission of Pharaoh. And later he will send a delegation to the people of Edom to cross through their country on their way to Israel. Later, in the days of King Cyrus, the Ezra and Nehemiah, they're asking the permission of the Persian king to go back to Judah. Why can't they just go back? And even in modern Israel, there was a permission from other nations. The Balfour Declaration from the British Empire, the British Mandate, and later the UN resolution in 1947. Every time Jacob and later Israel wants to go back to history, they have to ask permission from some external authority, which is not God, okay? Like actual nations or external authorities. So they notice this pattern, and the first time it happens is here in the days of Jacob. So, okay, permission granted, and now Jacob is leaving Haran. He will walk for a while. It goes like this. So Jacob fled with all he had, his family, the flock, etc., crossed the Euphrates River and headed for the hill country of Gilead. Okay, so there's a journey of 7 days that he does with his family, and then he crosses a river. Okay, in the Hebrew Bible, it doesn't specify the Euphrates, it just says cross the river. So it makes sense. Okay, a family that big with young children and the flock and everything, they probably walk 10 kilometers a day, let's say 70 kilometers in 7 days or so, about a little under 50 miles, and then they cross the Jordan River. So it puts us approximately in this area, okay, approximately over here. Making a lot of sense. Also, in the book of Genesis, it says that Lavan chased after him in a 7 days journey. Okay, it did the 7 days journey in one day. Okay, so kind of like what happened later with Pharaoh that chased the children of Israel, that walked for 7 days, then he chased them and caught them after 1 day. So you see the pattern once more. The permission is granted by these external authorities, but then they change their mind. They change their mind about what's going to be with Israel or with Jacob. So There's one problem, geographical problem about this location. It says that it was a hill country of Gilead. So is it really this place? This is not a very hilly place. Okay, this is right next to the Euphrates River. You can see there are a lot of fields. Okay? Not maybe there's a tiny hill, but nothing serious. Is it really here? I suggest I really think it was somewhere here, but others will say no, it's actually over here, all the way in this area, in the land of Gilead. So around here, very much closer to the Jabbok or maybe the Yarmouk rivers. Okay, somewhere over here. This is where the Gilead is. Okay, that's the area. But it just doesn't add up. You know how Jacob walked with his family 7 days and hundreds of miles. It doesn't make sense. So let's try to understand what is the hidden meaning behind that, or even the political meaning behind that. The name is Gilead or Galed. Okay, Galed is the name of the monument that Lavan and Jacob built in order to say we have a treaty between us. We're not attacking each other anymore. We're Hebrews. You are Hebrew. I'm Hebrew. Let's keep it. Let's stay in peace between us. So they build a monument and they say, don't cross this monument for hostile reasons. Okay, for like in order to attack me or anything like that. Okay, so if you look at this river and if you look at this river, okay, these are historically speaking the borders between the Aramaics and the Hebrews, the Aramaics and the Judean, the Israelite kingdom. So for political reasons, maybe this story was actually designed at some point as if to say, yeah, this is where the Gilead is, as the people of Aram, okay, are actually located here. So our ancestors, they already signed this treaty long time ago that you, the Israelites, won't cross these rivers over here. You don't pass through the Gilead, okay? So you have the Gilead, but not further on. In the days of King David, says the Bible that the kingdom stretched all the way to the Euphrates. So these are the options: either the peace treaty between the Israelites and the people of Aram was here, and this is the more extended borders of Israel, or was it here, the less the shrank borders of Israel, somewhere in the between the Yarmouk and the Jabbok River? Okay, so these are the options. Okay, Lavan is very upset with Jacob. He's chasing after him. He's very envy with his success, with his financial success, with all the flock. But God appears to him and says, don't mess with Jacob. And that's why they signed this treaty. And now finally, we're moving forward and see what happens next. Let's jump now to Transjordan. There is a place called Mahanaim, okay, a place that is identified as the place where Jacob camped. It's approximately near the Jabbok River. You see, it's not that far from it. Here's the Zarka or the Jabbok River. That's the one. And I want to show you the river, and this is how we are going to conclude. Here's the road, and here's the Jabbok River. As you can see, not very mighty. It says this in Genesis 32. Jacob also went on his way, and the angels of God met him. When Jacob saw them, he said, this is the camp of God. So he named that place Mahanaim, 2 camps. That's what it means. Machane, 1 camp, Mahanaim, 2 camps. What are these 2 camps? We'll see on the next video, the 2 camps of his family. And that's it for today. So I hope you enjoyed this video about the journey of Jacob. I want to thank again Google Earth and all the photographers. And why not? Let's give some context and some geographical context to the Bible. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you.